Hi creative friends, this is Soraya and thank you so much for being here. So today I'm going to do a flip through of this absolutely gorgeous, cute as pie little journal by Fabriano. This is called Venezia and this size measures about 6¼ inches in length and 4 inches across. And it is just the cutest little thing I've ever seen. I absolutely love these books. I have them in the 3 sizes it comes available in. And when I work in a small book like this, it forces me to think differently about my space. And so I'm just kind of looking at it from a different perspective than I would be if I was working in a larger sketchbook or even a mid-sized sketchbook. So over here, I started experimenting with abstract faces and, just different colored faces, as you'll see as I do my flip through. Now this over here is oil pastel, and I've used some oil pastel here, and I didn't put a fixative or anything. There's no barrier. So when I closed the book, some of the blue from here transferred onto here, but I actually love that organic feel. I'm gonna bring it up closer so you can see. And so see some of the blue from the oil pastel on this page transferred onto here. But I really love that kind of look. I love the happy accidents that can happen. So I just don't bother with putting on a fixative or anything of that sort. And also fixatives, they can tend to flatten color. So I tend to stay away from them. So again, I'm using oil pastel over here, and then it transferred onto here when I closed the book, and I'm totally okay with that. Like I love all that kind of organic messiness. So to me, it just adds to the page. And so I started experimenting with putting shapes into the face. So this is kind of like a moon and some ovals. And even over here, like that's a moon shape. So I just tend to do a lot of experiments. And because I'm working in such a small space, it forces me to look at my figures differently, my colors differently. So I just think it's a good learning tool to work in different sizes of journals. So I have a blue face, and that took me a little bit of time to kind of get used to drawing and painting faces that were different colors, that were not, you know, realistic looking, even if they were stylized, like to completely go with, say, a blue face or putting patterns on the face. I started working on this journal, I want to say about 2 years ago. So it took me a while to kind of step outside my comfort zone, but I really love the way some of these images turned out. So this is all oil pastel here. And as you can see, my color palette is a little bit different as well. Like, I think it's more subdued. I mean, there are bright pops of colors, but for the most part, I think it's a more subdued color palette. Also, too, I was asked a few days ago about what do I do with my pages sticking. And I used to have a lot of issues with my pages just sticking together like glue. And what I did was I changed from a glossy glue, and I use Mod Podge. So I changed from glossy to matte, and I don't know if that did the trick, but now I have absolutely no issues with my pages sticking. Like I have no fixative or any kind of sealer on any of these pages, and they are not sticking at all. Now I also use chalk paint in my work, and I don't know if the chalk paint, because it's just a different texture, if that prevents the stickiness. But I mean, I only use a very small percentage of chalk paint. Most of my paint is acrylics, but you can also get parchment paper or wax paper, and you don't have to buy an artist quality. You can just go to your kitchen, and if you bake, you know, you can just cut them to size and stick them in here, and that'll have a barrier. There'll be a barrier in between your pages. So as you can see, like I have a blue face and there's lots of designs on there, and that, you know, that was like quite a big step for me. So now I have a lot of abstract backgrounds, and well, there's some figures here. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna work over top of this, and I might make a video where I film me just working on top of these abstract backgrounds in this small sketchbook. But a lot of these were just, you know, I'm experimenting with color and lines and marks, and I'm just having fun and not really, you know, thinking about any images that are going to go over top of it. And here I'm experimenting with a more subdued orange, like a neutralized orange, because usually I tend to go for like very bright, like oranges like that. But so this is just a lot of experiments and playing around. So the page ripped over there, but I'm totally fine with things like that happening. Like I might patch it up, but I might just leave it, you know. I just think that everything that happens in my art journal is just a very organic, beautiful thing, and it just adds to the character of the book. So I don't really fuss around too much with trying to make sure it's archival and to protect it, etc. Oh my god, I just really love this pop of orange against this blue. It is just so beautiful. I love it. And I love that pink over there. It's really just like, woo. Now, see, that stencil is too big for this small book. I mean, it could work. I don't know. It depends on what kind of image I put over top of it. But just looking at it right now, I'm thinking that it's just, I needed a smaller stencil. And that's it. So I hope you enjoyed this flip through, and thank you so much for watching till the end, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.